Hello everyone, welcome back to my Sims 2 channel. My name is Brianna Peppers, and today you are watching episode 2 of Silent Peaks. This is a custom neighborhood made by the Nordmead on Mod The Sims, complete with scripted events and a missing person mystery. This is a limited series where we are going to hopefully uncover the entire truth of what has happened to the missing people all around Silent Peaks. Episode 1 featured the Wallace family with Alfred and his missing wife and his 2 children, and today's episode is going to be following Alfred's relatives, the Sutherland family. High school sweethearts Eloise and Charlie do their best to provide for their daughters. Jessica is known as a shining example of the family, while Jenny doesn't care for much outside the porch. Is there anything that could affect young sisters, maybe even changing their lifestyles forever? Perhaps it's the people they'll meet on their way. So, on first glance, this bio is not giving us much information about the family, but I do have a little bit of a spoiler because we ran into, I believe, Jenny when we were playing with the other household, the Wallace family, and she actually wants to become a plant sim, which is pretty evident from her thought bubble here. So without further ado, we're going to go over to the Sutherland home. They live not in the town circle, but a little bit over here in the woods, more like. A bit more isolated as well. They have the same family bio here. Their home is actually called the Birchwood Mansion, and they seem to have a lot of money, which is a very different dynamic than what's going on with Alfred and his family living in that small apartment with not very much cash flow. So we have Charlie, Eloise, and their 2 daughters, Jessica and Jenny. Let's go ahead and get in here and see what we can find out about this family. Here we are at the Birchwood Mansion, and I can totally see why it has a name like that. It looks like a beautiful, rather large mountain-type home. I see a greenhouse in the front yard, some like a pond in the back. They have a very nice backyard area even with a hot tub. In terms of cash, this household only has 3,200 simoleons, but that's still not bad. And they obviously are doing pretty well for themselves. So yeah, it's a pretty nice house. Let's go ahead and jump down in here. Ground floor overview. Looks like you're walking in. You have this nice game area. To your left, you have the actual living room. And then you have a den, it appears, with a computer and some workout equipment. Kind of stuff you would expect to find in any rich person's home. Over here to the right, you have a dining room, complete with a wet bar and some couches. And then in the back, we have the actual kitchen, which is a pretty good size. I noticed that they do have a pet bowl, but they don't seem to have a pet, so I wonder if they're supposed to get one at some point. Upstairs, we have a few different bedrooms, so it looks like each girl has their own room. If I had to guess, the pink bedroom is probably Jessica's, and then the green one down here is probably Jenny's because she does seem to show a high interest in plants and nature. It's also a little bit cluttered, a little bit messy. And then over here we do have the parents' bedroom, clearly Eloise and Charlie's. It's very modest, has everything that they could possibly need, and look, we do have more family portraits. Cute picture. I think I also saw some pictures in the girls' bedrooms. So this appears to be a photo of Jenny sitting out by the pond. It's interesting that she would frame a photo of herself and hang it in her room. And then down here, oh, this is a picture of Jessica and I believe her boyfriend, Valerian, who has been teased here in the scripted event, but we haven't gotten there quite yet. But yeah, it's a very nice house. I like it. Very well built. I'm supposing that this greenhouse out here is probably for Jenny, but let's take a look at the Sims and get to know them a bit more. So I haven't changed anyone's outfits except for the mom's because the dress she was wearing was really inappropriate. Keep in mind that your Sims, when you download this neighborhood, will not look like this. I do have default hair, skin, eyes, and clothes. I tried to keep their redesign as similar as possible to what they looked like before so that they're at least recognizable, but yeah, I can't play without my defaults. So here we have the man of the house. We have Charlie Sutherland. He is a popularity sim with no secondary aspiration. I see here he has the want locked in to obtain a pet, so I'm guessing that that pet food bowl is probably for him. Or not for him, but for his pet that he adopts. He also has the want locked in to become best friends with Jenny, his own daughter. And then he does want to be best friends with Jessica and Freddie, who Freddie is his nephew. He wants to be friends with Marion and Alfred, which would be his brother-in-law and niece, respectively. He seems to have a really great relationship with his wife Eloise, and he gets along just fine with his 2 girls, but they're not super close, although you can see here that they are borderline about to become best friends, which is probably why their wants were set up this way, and his family seems to be his only friends. He is an executive, level 5 in the business career, although I wouldn't have guessed that from looking at him. He does have more of a bohemian look about him, with his long hair, his little earring, and his glasses, and his facial hair. But maybe he's a bit unconventional of an executive. He is 2 friends away from getting a promotion and he needs another logic skill point, but I'm going to wait to see if he has any interest in moving on up. Or maybe he's just not the type of person that would want to work really hard. He is a Gemini. He's very sloppy, outgoing, quite active, quite playful, and balanced pretty well between grouchy and nice. His bio says, Charlie never dared to miss a good party when he was younger. Now, as father duties reached out to him, he stays focused on spending time with his family. Sometimes he just wishes he had more influence on his not-so-free spirit daughters. Interesting. So it looks like he actually was a bit more of a carefree, maybe rebel-type person when he was younger, but as he's matured and, like it says, has come into fatherhood, especially now with teenage girls, because that's not easy, perhaps he has had to settle down quite a bit to help take care of them, but he seems to wish that his daughters would break the mold a bit more, so to speak. His current turn-ons are black hair and charismatic Sims, and he dislikes lackadaisical Sims, which makes sense because he's extremely active and outgoing. He doesn't have anything in his inventory, and I think that is all there is to know about Charlie right now. Moving on over to Eloise. Eloise, once again, is the sister to Alfred Wallace, so I believe her maiden name was probably Wallace. In fact, let's look at their family trees really quickly. Yes, so her parents, Edward and Melville, have passed away already. Charlie also has deceased parents, Aveline and George. Sutherland, of course. Eloise is a fortune sim, and she doesn't want locked in to be BFFs with Jessica, and for Jessica to be an overachiever. I already have the relationships panel open, so you can see here that she is very close with her daughter Jessica, and it appears she may not even be friends at all with her daughter Jenny, which is very sad. Yeah, if you look here, she has a very, very basic relationship with Jenny. She seems to not spend much time with Jenny. Maybe she just can't relate to her. I forgot to mention Charlie does have the lifetime want to have 20 simultaneous best friends, and Eloise's is to become the law level 10 of her law career, and she is in the law career. She's a personal injury attorney. She has these wants to gain a friend and gain some skills, probably to get a promotion, but she is a bit further away from a promotion than even Charlie is. She needs 6 more friends, a logic skill point, and 2 cleaning skill points before she can level up. But a personal injury attorney is nothing to laugh at. She's pretty high up in her career. I also forgot to mention that she is 23 days from becoming an elder, and so is Charlie. They're the same exact age. She is an Aries. She's very neat, a bit more outgoing, slightly less active than Charlie, but extremely serious and more so on the grouchy side. Her bio says, ambitious since anyone can remember, raised in a culture of great effort and its consequences, Eloise tries to pass these schemes on to her daughters. While Jessica seems to completely take after her mother, Jenny is the one to keep her head among the clouds. Eloise wishes her dear husband Charlie tries to have a good influence as well. So it's interesting because it seems as though Eloise and Charlie sort of come from a different background. Like he was a bit more aloof and carefree when he was younger, but she's always been ambitious and very driven. So it begs the question, what does Eloise see in Charlie? But clearly they get along very well. They have pretty good chemistry and 90/80 relationship, and they are probably in love if I had to guess. Her turn-ons are nurturing Sims and athletic Sims, and she also dislikes lackadaisical Sims. Once again, nothing in her inventory. Let's check out their memories really quickly. You can see here that she remembers meeting her parents, which is interesting. And then she grew up and she became a toddler. She learned all of her toddler skills, and then Alfred joined the family. So that very clearly says that Alfred is the younger of the 2 siblings. I don't know if I knew that before. She learned to study from her father. She and her brother both got into private school, and she grew up, and when she was a teenager, I see here, she had her very first kiss with Charlie, and had an affair with Charlie? That's a bit unusual. And lost Leandra as a best friend. So Leandra was Alfred's wife, and who is now currently missing. And it's interesting to see here that, I'm assuming this first kiss was when she was a teenager, right? Yes. Okay, I see. I get it now. Just had to make sure I was understanding it correctly. So she did all of that while she was a teenager. For some reason, she lost Leandra as a best friend. If I had to guess, let's go back and look at Charlie's memories to be sure. But if I had to guess, maybe Leandra and Charlie had something of a relationship going on. See, I wouldn't have known that from Alfred's perspective because Leandra is missing, so I wasn't able to go through her memories. And this is my first time hanging out with Charlie. So eventually she did fall in love with Charlie and they went steady. She was getting promotions. She was an overachiever. She moved out, went to college. She had her first woohoo with Charlie. They got engaged. She graduated. Um, he moved in with her. She looks like she got another job. Did it ever say like what her first job was in? It didn't say, but she got another job. Her parents died after she got married, and before she had her daughters, Jessica, and then a little bit later down the road, Jenny. So, looking at her memories here, she taught Jessica to talk, taught Jessica to walk, potty trained Jenny, she taught Jessica nursery rhyme. So, at least Jenny got one skill learned from her. She taught Jessica to study, but you'll notice here how Jenny did not learn to study, at least not from Eloise. And then, most recently, Jessica got into private school, but Jenny was rejected. And I wonder if it's anything to do with her grades, because it says here Jenny got a D. Yeah. Okay. Also forgot to mention their one true hobbies. I'm all over the place today. Eloise's one true hobby is film and literature, and Charlie's is fitness, and they have a pretty good amount of enthusiasm in both. So let's look at Charlie's memories really quickly just to see if they align. Oh, yes, okay. So he had his first kiss with Leandra, and he was going steady with Leandra. I see. All right, and then he kissed Eloise. That's when he had an affair, so to speak. It's really not an affair if they're not married, but that's all that the game has to work with. He was caught cheating, lost Leandra as a best friend, and I'm assuming that she broke up with him. But then he seemed perfectly fine to move on with Eloise after that, and then he's been with her ever since. Quite an interesting backstory. They did a little bit of like a wife swap, if you will. It's interesting to me that Charlie would cheat on Leandra with Alfred's sister, and then Alfred went and married Leandra. I guess he was the backup plan. Okay, moving on over to the girls. So this is just the default look that Jessica got thanks to my replacements. And, I decided not to change it because just from my original introduction to her, I think that she strikes me as a bit of a preppier type of person. So, you know what? This outfit and this hair, it works for her. She is 5 days away from becoming an adult. She's a fortune sim. Her current lifetime want is to become a business tycoon, which is kind of sweet because it's like she wants to take after her father a bit more. Once again, no secondary aspiration, and she does have the want locked in to have her very first kiss with Valerian. So Valerian looks a bit different. He has a completely different hair color than he is supposed to have. I'm not sure why. Maybe, like I was saying before in the last episode, because he did make a very brief appearance in the Wallace episode. I think he was supposed to have custom hair, and I have my custom hair also default replaced, so it's okay. Whenever we play with Valerian, he's going to get a makeover as well. Anyway, yeah, so Jessica is a private school student. She has an A, which is pretty good, and she has a job in the business career as a mailroom technician. She is 4 friends away and 1 logic skill point from getting a promotion, and I believe it's at level 3 where she would get to become an overachiever. It's interesting that she needs so many friends for a part-time job. I don't normally see that big of a requirement, but okay. Maybe she just wants to be popular. Her personality, she is an Aries. She's very neat, quite outgoing, rather lazy, a bit more serious, and kind of nice. So I feel like it's a very good blend of her parents' personalities. Her bio says Jessica became everything her mother ever wanted her to be: beautiful, popular, and successful at school. But what if the perception she has of herself is just an illusion cast by Eloise? What if Jessica finds out there are other values in life besides ambitions and hard work? So, yeah, it seems like Jessica has been kind of, trained her whole life to become the star student and the popular girl in school, because Eloise just sort of wanted that for her, but who's to say? Jessica's still very young. I highly doubt that she chose this lifestyle for herself. So now as she gets older and approaches adulthood, she's going to have to start figuring some things out, like what kind of person she actually wants to be. Her turn-ons are ambitious sims and creative sims, and she dislikes fun-loving, which goes fine with her serious personality. Her one true hobby appears to be arts and crafts, which also is good. So maybe she's more of an artsy person, but that doesn't really line up with Eloise's point of view. She thinks that you need to be all about business. Okay, and last but not least, we have Jenny. I don't know why I thought these girls were twins, but Jenny's actually a little bit younger, so she has the full 7 days until she becomes an adult. And she's a knowledge sim. Her current lifetime want is to max out 7 skills, and she does, as we already know, have the want locked in to become a plant sim. which is quite a big change from normal day-to-day life. She is a public school student and she has a D+, so clearly she is not very focused on her grades, which is unusual from a knowledge sim, but she obviously has other things on her mind. Maybe she's just is done with humanity. She does, of course, have the wants to get into private school and go to college, so maybe that could be an incentive to work on her grades a bit more. This is her personality. She is a Pisces and she is painfully shy, absolutely no outgoing points whatsoever. She is, though, extremely active, quite serious, and very, very nice, so much nicer than anyone else in her family, but she is painfully shy. Her bio says, Jenny always considered herself a weirdo, which she also feels ambiguous about. Never really cared for her peers or family's approval, she's the happiest alone, taking care of her true friends, silly little plants in the garden. So it's as I suspected, Jenny is pretty much finished with humanity. Like, she doesn't want to socialize, she has no desire to please people, she just wants to be by herself. And so I can see by her becoming a plant sim, that's sort of the perfect way to achieve that, because then you really set yourself apart, and she's not really one of the regular people anymore. Her one true hobby is nature, go figure, almost maxed out. She's got quite a lot of enthusiasm in it. Her turn-ons are academic sims and naturalists, which in my game just means that they have a high interest in nature. And her turn-off is reserved sims. So it's interesting, she's quite reserved. So perhaps she is more attracted to outgoing people because she can't be. That is a possibility. Nothing in her inventory, and we're good. She does fear having a party and she fears getting rejected from private school, so I don't think we're going to be attempting that anytime soon, not at least until she has better grades. Okay, so guys, that is it for the family introduction. We do have a scripted event already popped up. You probably have seen it this whole time, but I've wanted to ignore it until now. So as soon as I press play on the household, we got a pop-up. It's another calm evening around the Sutherland homestead. However, Jessica planned having some fun tonight. In a few more hours, she wants to call her crush, Valerian, and sneak out with him. Be careful around her parents and don't let them catch her. So yes, Jessica, she's already starting to rebel a bit. She wants to sneak out of the house tonight and probably plant a big smooch on Valerian if she can. Okay, so after some careful consideration, I did check everyone's gender preferences because, as you guys may know, I do use Autonomous Casual Romance, the ACR mod, and I saw that Jenny is the only person in the house that doesn't have a gender preference. And this could just be because she just became a teenager, so normally you kind of have to wait for them to either flirt with someone or roll it yourself with the ACR adjuster. But I decided to go a different route, and I've decided that Jenny's actually going to be aromantic. So this is a handy little mod. I do use 3-2 traits in my other neighborhoods, like my Uberhood, for example. This is a handy mod that's actually a functional trait you can put in their inventory, and it should prevent Jenny from being interested at all in any romantic prospects. She's not going to, as far as I'm aware, fart hearts for anyone. She's not going to autonomously flirt with anyone. She shouldn't roll any ones to get romantic. She's just simply not interested in romantic possibilities. Her main focus is on becoming a plant sim and just sort of escaping from the regular world. And she doesn't have time for relationships. I also noticed that when I press play, Jenny here has flowers coming out of her. This usually just happens in my game. I don't really know why. But also it could make sense because she... Why is she sad? Because she may have used some perfume or something? Oh, she's thinking about her bad grades. Yeah, I didn't look at the girls' memories. Okay, yeah. Not much to see here. She grew up well, seemingly. She met her family members. She was best friends with Jessica. She got her D report card. She grew up badly, had a lousy birthday party, and got rejected from private school. So yeah, a lot of bad things happened at once for poor Jenny. And then meanwhile, it's pretty much the same situation over here, but Jessica, she remembers the bad things happening for her sister, but she's fine. Like, Jessica's had a pretty normal upbringing. Their relationships with each other, I forgot to go over that as well. Jessica is very close with both Eloise and Jenny. Like I said, she's bordering becoming best friends with her father, Charlie. She's friends with Valerian Sanders, and she has a crush on him. I don't know if it's reciprocated or not, it may be. And she's friends with Lydia Sanders. So I think Valerian and Lydia are relatives, maybe siblings. And Jenny's only other friend besides her father and sister is her little cousin, Freddie Wallace. Okay, now I think I've officially gone over everything. So, since the scripted event for this family doesn't really have anything going on until it's time to send Jessica out and about. I'm just going to have them taking care of themselves. Perhaps we're going to have Jenny come outside. Since she wants to become a plant sim, that's usually quite a big ask. She's going to have to spray pesticides like a lot, like many, many, many times in a row. I see that we have the entire garden here. Does she have anything out back? No. Okay, those seem to be her only plans. She does have a pond if she ever wants to go fishing at all, but that doesn't seem to be the priority for her. And the plants are all very healthy and happy. We've got peppers, we've got cucumbers, eggplants. Yep, everything you could need. We also have a flower, like, bouquet arranging station. I wonder if it's functional in this spot. I suppose we'll find out. But yes, we will regroup this evening when it's time for Jessica to sneak out of the house. Okay, a brief interim. I was just having Jenny talk to someone on the phone. I believe she called Valerian, just because her social was getting a bit low, just so they could chat up a bit. And he must have said something that she really did not like, because she just lost her crush on him. I was just sitting there minding my own business, and I was like, why am I hearing the heart boing? But yeah, she is apparently no longer, at least not crushing on him, which is interesting. So I think that was just because their relationship was bordering crush zone. Realistically, she probably just lost a couple too many relationship points and it took a hit. So the first thing they lose is the crush status. But yeah, now we're gonna see if next time they meet up, perhaps we'll have Valerian come over or something. If they get their crush back on each other, or at least she gets her crush back on him. Okay, so it's a bit late in the video, but I just remembered something very important. Thank you to my friend Lilith for reminding me that I actually should be looking at the family albums. I apologize for not doing that with the Wallace family, and maybe I'll go back and look at them the next time we visit that family. But it's just something so completely removed from my mind. I never ever use the family albums. Ever since I learned how to take screenshots, I just take screenshots of my gameplay myself. But this is a very useful tool, so we get to see a bit more of the storytelling behind the families. So it starts off, the very first picture here, it's clearly Eloise and little Alfred. Eloise grew up as her parents' favorite child. She's always been a charismatic, bright girl. Unfortunately, her brother Alfred was raised in the shadow of his ambitious sister, so it seems like he may even resent her a bit, which also makes more sense because I was wondering when we were playing with Alfred's family why he had such a low relationship with his sister. I'm like, how unfortunate that they're not close, but this makes more sense because he kind of has been overshadowed by her his entire life, and he clearly doesn't like that. Next slide, it looks like Eloise and a little Leandra. Since early childhood, Eloise kept in touch with a younger friend from around the town, Leandra. As time passed, they eventually became besties. Little girls? One day, Leandra introduced Eloise to her new boyfriend, a new boy in town, Charlie. She didn't want to be a fake friend, but wow, she just couldn't keep her eyes off that boy. Oh no. Soon it turned out that Charlie caught some strong feelings for Eloise, too. They fell for each other despite their initial loyalty towards Leandra. And he cheated on Leandra with her. She couldn't stand the way things turned out, breaking up with Charlie and claiming that her friendship with Eloise was over after all these years. Eloise and Charlie didn't need much time to fall deeply in love, becoming high school sweethearts to be on the tongues of the whole. Huh? I don't really understand this phrase right here, to be on the tongues of the whole. um, I really don't understand that phrase. I've never heard that before, but if anyone knows what that means, maybe it makes sense. Eventually, they moved in together and got hitched, not allowing anything in the world to spoil their amazing bond. And meanwhile, those were like birthday balloons. Their first child was Jessica. You could tell she took over her mom a great deal, immediately becoming highly successful among her peers and teachers. That's a very cute picture. Later on, they had Jenny, their second little and adorable daughter. Cute picture. Jessica did well at nearly everything as soon as she undertook any new hobbies. So she's kind of like a little prodigy. Unlike her sibling, Jenny didn't really care for grades or the approval of other people. She would wander on the porch, practicing some nature-related activities at all times. Recently, Jessica started to hang out with a boy named Valerian. He was such fun. Although she was pretty sure none of her parents would approve of him, especially Eloise. She's always so mannerly and considerate for partnerships, isn't she? Nice little dig at Eloise. Even as a teenager, Jenny wasn't really willing to change her attitude, which worsened her relationship with Eloise. What would it take to convince any of them to make peace? And that is the most recent photo that we have. Very interesting. I like that. Oh, you can also do this. Man, I haven't used the family album since I was a kid. No doubt about it. If I was to go and look at the, like, all of the photos, I could probably find the Wallaces, but they wouldn't have the captions with them anyway, I don't think, so we're just gonna mind our own family album. So yeah, those family photos are a very nice touch though, because they give us more insight into the characters and what's going on in each household. So from here on out, I will definitely be sure to take a look at those. Alright, it's about 8 o'clock and the Sutherlands are enjoying a nice family dinner. I don't know why Eloise decided to set the table outside, and it's quite dark. I can't seem to get this light to come on. Or maybe it just doesn't work out here because they're outdoors and this is an inside light, but I can see here that Eloise is talking to Jessica about growing up. Potentially Jessica is thinking about going to college, you know, things like that. I'm sure Eloise is putting the pressure on her big time. Jenny was the last person to join the table because she was too busy outside in the garden. She did get briefly chased by bees, so her needs are a little bit lower. But I'm very eager to see if we can get Jenny's wish to become a plant sim, to get that to become possible. I've never successfully gotten a plant sim. It's not really my usual gameplay style anyway to play with plant sims, so it's going to be quite an interesting challenge. But alright, it's getting a bit late. It's almost time to go ask Valerian to sneak out, so we're going to be doing that here pretty shortly. And then I figured that the adults, no one's really tired. Oh, look! Jenny and Charlie, I believe, just became best friends. Yes, so he just got a big want. Very good. He's very happy. At least one parent in this household is being nice to Jenny. I guess Eloise doesn't dislike Jenny, but she just can't relate to her. I cannot click on this bowl to save my life, but anyway, they're gonna get up and do the dishes. But yeah, that's how I'm picturing their relationship. Eloise just can't relate to Jenny. She doesn't understand why her head is so much in the clouds, or in the grass, I should say. But now these two are the last ones left at the dinner table. I could definitely see Jenny and Charlie forming a more, like a stronger bond, but only time will tell on that front. I just joined Eloise upstairs in this big bathroom that I somehow didn't really notice before, and I see that there's a litter box in here, so it feels like we're pointed very strongly in the direction of getting this family a cat. So I guess we'll be doing that tomorrow morning, getting Charlie a cat, since he's the one that wants a pet. He does have to work tomorrow though, so maybe not until after he gets home from work. So it is 10 o'clock. Officially speaking, Jessica could go to the telephone right now and ask Valerian to sneak out, and then they're going to go out around 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's hope that around that time everyone has gone to sleep, because it's not going to be much of a sneak out if she has to tiptoe past her parents and they're wide awake. Alright, so it's about 12:30 and the taxi has just arrived for Jessica. She actually, oh, who knocked over our trash can? She actually is quote-unquote sneaking out, but just like the last episode with Marion Wallace, I decided to have her actually leave the lot, and we're gonna sort of get to play her while she's quote-unquote snuck out. And we have just arrived at the late night bowling alley. This is a community lot that I have not yet actually looked at, but from what I can see out here, it's really cool looking. I figured that for their first date, Jessica and Valerian would probably not want to go to like a junkyard or a graveyard like Marion did. So instead we're going to come to this late night bowling alley, I guess. I'm sure that the business owners wouldn't really bat their eye at two teenagers being here late at night, on a school night no less. And we'll have to see if any interesting characters show up. Okay, she's gonna go check out the lamp. No. Wow, look at this place. Just ignore the bushes coming through the walls. That's because of my default replacements. We have a little bar. I don't know if it's just my lighting mod or something else that's making it very dark in here, even though there's so many lights. Maybe it's because of the split floor. I don't know, because up here it's quite bright. We've got some pool tables, photo booth, even a little dining area. Oh, it's an actual restaurant. That's nice. And a bar. They even have a juice. Okay, lots of servers, I guess because of how many tables there are. Interesting. And then there's an upstairs portion. Okay, even more sitting area, yep. Like an arcade and the restrooms, it appears. Yeah, this is a really nice lot. I like it. Very funky looking, very 70s. It's cute. Okay, is my date here? Yes, he is. So this is Valerian. He is probably supposed to be a brunette because his eyebrows are brown, but Like I was saying before, he does have a custom hair, so right now he has this white hair. Honestly, it's pretty cute for a pleasure sim. Maybe he just wanted to dye his hair like that. I don't know. We're going to admire him, say that she likes his new hairdo, and maybe talk to him a bit. The unsavory charlatan just arrived. And then after they get warmed up, I'm going to send them inside because it's very dark out here. Oh yeah, he knows he looks good. Yeah, we're going to be trying to get their crushes back on each other. Oh, she's talking crap about her own cousin. That's not nice. And he just can't believe what she would say. Okay, so yeah, let's go inside. Okay, so looking at Valerian's wants, he does have them want locked in as well to have his very first kiss with Jessica. So maybe that'll be our goal by the end of the night. But as for now, like I said, we don't even have a crush on each other anymore. Or at least she's not crushing on him. I don't know how he feels about her. If he wants to have his first kiss with her, I'm willing to bet that he has a crush on her. You gotta do the date tickle. I say this every time. Hello? Why did I just hear like a therapist sound? Anyone else hear that? That was odd, right? Oh, I think it's Bernard over here. You can't see the therapist because he's not selectable, but he is having a visit from the therapist. He's clearly in a mental breakdown at the bowling alley tonight. Oh, Mr. Morris. I can't wait to get to him, see what's going on. Oh, we're dancing now. That's nice. He wants to be flirted with again. This time, let's try a suggestion. She's gonna suggest that they should be dating. He's into it. And then we're gonna go get some food. I was kind of hoping that their date would actually be a bit longer, like more time left on it. But we'll see. Oh, hello. Okay, she didn't have the interaction with the host, but that's okay because it clearly still worked. They're gonna go face the window. Oh, nice. Okay, well, they're feeling much better now. Yeah, he wants salmon from the bowling alley. I didn't quite catch what she wanted. All right. We have our server here, Mr. Corey. Chef's choice, please. Oh, it looks like she wants ribs. Yeah, quite an interesting choice. Oh no, I just noticed that her face is stuck in the dance phase. Oh dear. We're just gonna have to ignore that. Maybe she's trying to be cute. Okay, I definitely clicked Chef's choice. Are you gonna take my order or not? I wonder if this restaurant is not a little borked up. Hello? It's because they're not... Okay, there we go. They, like, weren't speaking to him. That was very strange. But they're going to enjoy their dinner together. Their very late night dinner. I didn't expect them to really want anything to eat, but of course, on a date they always do. Wow, and he finished his food in like 2 seconds flat. She's trying to eat a bit more neatly. He might have a sloppier personality. The way he shoveled that food in his face. Okay, but we're actually gonna be done now. We're gonna move over to the bowling alley portion. Or maybe go upstairs, because it's actually very dark down there. It's kind of a vibe killer. Yeah, we're gonna go upstairs. There's actually no one up there, so... It would be nice for some privacy if they wanted to finally get that first kiss. Looks like Jessica has still not gotten that crush back on him. It could be that their relationship is just too low. Like, I can't say for sure, but the creator of this neighborhood may have just used SimBlender or something similar, SimPE possibly, to set their flag as a crush, but maybe their relationship isn't actually high enough to realistically have one. Why did he stop on the stairs? Hello? Come here, because I don't want her to go over there because they're gonna block... Oh, are you kidding? Stole my date. Gee, Willikers. Okay, I came up here for privacy and then everyone followed us up here. It's kind of annoying, actually. Oh my god. Go here. And it's also annoying that her date's not following her. I don't have time for this. It's literally 6 o'clock in the morning. She's gonna miss the school bus at this rate. I think we just have to end the date. I severely underestimated how long this whole excursion would take. But I'm still gonna try. Still gonna try. This Jack man keeps following us around. Okay, cute. Oh, the kiss option is here. I'm just gonna go for it because this was our whole plan all along. Okay, perfect. Oh, wait. Pause. Ugh, it is impossible to get a good angle anywhere. Look at her face. No. That doesn't make for a cute picture. Maybe, yeah, from this side. We'll just get his point of view. Because she looks very unsure about that kiss. Okay, but luckily it went off without a hitch. She has a crush on him again. Now she wants to make out, but we have got to get home. I'm just gonna say that they lost complete track of time. That was a great time. You're so much fun. And now she desperately has to get home. Oh, and they just became best friends as well. Well, you know, that's good, but now she's not going to be getting home until after 6 a.m., and I'm sure that her family will be awake by then. Where's the damn phone? The payphone? Pay dining bill and leave. I guess that's... Okay, she has a cell phone, thank God. Why is there no payphone? That may have been an oversight, or maybe you don't have to have a payphone. I don't know. But like I was saying, yes, she's not going to be getting home until after 6 a.m. at this point, and surely her family is going to be awake, so it's probably going to be a situation similar to her cousin. When Marion snuck out, she did get caught by Arthur, or whatever his name was, Alfred. So, I don't know. Hopefully they don't get too mad. Alright, so it is now Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning, and everyone is awake, moving about with their day. Jenny just came down to pick up the trash, and now we have roaches, of course. And Jessica just got home. I'm sure she knows that she's screwed. I mean, she's gonna walk in the front door wearing yesterday's clothes, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure at this point her parents probably thought that she was still in bed. Oh, mom made dinner, or breakfast, I mean. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Maybe Jenny will get away with it. I mean, no one saw her walk in. So maybe she's good, but now she's gonna be super tired, unfortunately, and they have hot chocolate but no coffee or anything, yeah. So she's just gonna have to live with it. Maybe she can get like a really quick nap in before school. And then Charlie is off to his job. He's off to work. Like I said, he does get home at 3 p.m. So that is probably when we will go ahead and get that cat for him, the one he seems to really want for some reason. And where's Jenny? Jenny, oh, she was out here. We did eventually get pests, yes, on the apple tree. I never have good fortune with these orchard trees. Like, they're always sickly. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. Doesn't matter what I've got going on. This one's healthy, so we'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna roll with the fact that Jessica did not get caught sneaking in. I mean, no one saw her. For all they know, that she came out of her bedroom after they did, and she's just asleep on the couch because she is so tired. So yeah, we'll see if her good luck holds out, of course. Jenny has to go to school, unfortunately, with no breakfast. And Eloise, what time do you work? 9 a.m. She's gonna get picked up in about an hour. Alright, and so Eloise is off to work as well, and we're just gonna have to chill out at the house until everyone gets home. I think the girls are gonna be home first when they get home from school. And Jessica does not work today. Excellent. So she could have a guest over or something if she wants. Jessica is the first person off the bus today. She's in her little private school uniform and brought home Robin. Excellent. So yeah, actually I forgot that I do have a private school mod that makes them come home 1 hour earlier if they are in private school. It's just a nice little perk, I suppose. And yeah, so she's actually home an hour before her sister. She doesn't have a desk in her room, but I'm just gonna go put her homework upstairs so that she can do that when she wants to. How is our relationship with Robin? They seem to have just met Robin. Yep, just met at school today, I suppose. And for whatever reason, Robin decided to come home with Jessica. But, yeah, Jessica is super tired. Like I said, she did not get to go to sleep last night at all. So she's probably just gonna have to take care of herself a bit and get some leftovers. Maybe Robin will be hungry and want to eat with Jessica. And then now I'm very eagerly awaiting Jenny to come home because her garden is falling apart. Every single plant needs some fixing up in. The orchard trees need tending. Jenny, I assume, is like the only person really taking care of any of this. And on one hand, it's actually quite nice. Oh my god, I didn't even know this garden was here, see? But on one hand, it's quite nice that the family would go to such lengths to even build a greenhouse, seemingly just for Jenny, because, like I said, the parents don't seem at all interested in nature. Maybe Charlie a little bit, but it's not exactly his main focus. Okay, yeah, still has a D plus. Not fantastic, but better than a D minus. Oh look, I didn't even catch this either. I just am not seeing anything. I think because the lot just has so much going on. I'm not looking at the little things. But yeah, so Valerian obviously came by and left a flower for Jessica after their great date. Awesome. And then, yeah, Jessica's just gonna have to go up here and take a nap. I'm afraid there's just like nothing else she can really do. Okay, you're not playing computer games. No, you're not. You're gonna tend and spray. And then we have to come 10 many. Is there a... Okay, there is a sprinkler here, so I really shouldn't have to worry about watering them. This is gonna take her like all day long. I've never had a garden this big before. Also, I wanted to mention, because I don't think that I did before, but I was just looking at her talent badges, which is another thing that I usually don't pay any attention to. Oh my god, and there's a garden here too! There's plants everywhere. She actually has a bronze flower arranging talent badge and a silver gardening, which is pretty good. Since I don't really have much experience making plant sims, I had to look up to see like what the exact number is of how many times she needs to spray pesticides to become a plant sim. And it's kind of unclear exactly because from what I'm seeing on the internet, it says just to repeatedly spray plants for bugs, but it needs to happen over a single continuous gameplay session. Okay, Charlie just got home. But okay, because I don't think she sprayed anything yesterday, so I'm guessing the clock starts today. But it says the number of sprays resets when you save and exit the lot. So I wonder if that also counts when you go to a community lot, because I did save and exit the lot, technically speaking. I don't know. Her dreams of becoming a plant sim might be far away. Okay, I see one singular roach. Where are the rest of the roaches? Because I was wondering if I still need to call an exterminator. Okay, yep, they regrouped over here. Okay, we're gonna call for an exterminator. I hate when they fight with the roaches constantly and then they get sick or constantly cry about it. So we're gonna call an exterminator. They probably won't come by until tomorrow though, since it's so late. I completely forgot about it this morning. Okay, yes. And then we're gonna call the pet adoption service. So I quickly went through the community lots and I didn't see an animal shelter or anything like that. So we're just gonna use the pet adoption service through the phone. Lydia Sanders is no longer a family friend, so it looks like Jessica needs to give Lydia a call. Alright, so we have some very cute options. It took a while for the game to generate some puppies and kittens, I suppose. So we have what look like all from the same litter. We have one female and three male kittens to choose from, or I could get an adult cat. We have two females and two males. So yeah, just looking at these two female cats especially, I think that the game took these and made these kittens out of them. But they're so cute. I don't know what to do because he didn't specify whether or not he wanted a kitten or not. So I may just get a adult cat since the litter box is upstairs in the bathroom and kittens cannot use the stairs. So we have some already in here. We've got Maya, Popo, Pochi, or Widget. All very cute names. Of course, because they're adult cats with pre-learned behaviors, their adoption fee is actually quite high. I think that Popo is the cheapest. Their one behavior they've learned is calm. Okay, it's a female cat, Popo. She's a doofus, friendly, cowardly, and she's in between hyper and lazy, in between pigpen and finicky. And her picture is really cute, so let's go with Popo, mostly because she's the cheapest. Otherwise, I would just get a kitten. Yeah, and I'll just keep that same name, because why not? I don't know if that was a game-generated name or, like, is it possible when you make a custom neighborhood to, like, make your own pets? I don't know. Okay, who's this walking by? Jimmy Marigold. I think that he is a playable. His name is cute, even if not, so we'll just chat with him a bit, so that way Charlie is outside when the animal control gets here. Oh god, the roaches. Really gross. Imagine just walking on someone's sidewalk and there are roaches everywhere. Yeah, Jimmy Marigold. He's cute. He has a nose ring. Oh, he does not want to chat. Alright, that's fine, I guess. How's Jenny doing with the garden? Doing okay? The tree needs some tending. Of course, the animal control wants to go to her. Of course it does. It never fails that the person that called to adopt the animal doesn't get greeted. I don't know why that is. It's really annoying. But I hear the cat somewhere. Where are you? There you are. Oh. Obviously we have to do our zoom in. Wow, she is cute. What an interesting fur color. Oh, wow. I like her. And she is at the beginning of her... Oh, she's an elder! I didn't even notice that. Oh. I mean, that's kind of sad because we'll have less time with her. But, I mean, the pet lifespans are so long. She is 28 days old. I'm sure that she's got like 28 more in her. So I'm not that worried about it. I'm going to be very sad if I just adopted you for you to die, Popo. Please don't die on me. But yeah, so this is going to be Charlie's cat. So we're going to go give it some love. Oh, she's running. And I'm sure that Jenny would also like a cat. I mean, if she's very interested in nature, it's not outside the realm of possibility that she's very interested in animals as well. But I guess her primary focus is plants. And Eloise just got home. Oh wow, she's not doing well either. Oh boy. Okay, so I think for the time being, we're just going to have everyone kind of taking care of themselves. Nothing really big going on. I'm going to give them a break from their reality TV style filming, and we will catch back up with them in a little while. Alright, so it's a little bit later. I mean, not really, but tiny bit later, and I just saw that Valerian is calling to speak to Jessica. We're going to say yes, she's available to talk. If I had to guess, I'm going to assume that Valerian is calling to ask Jessica out on another date. I'm not too keen to send her out again to another community lot, but I could have Valeria come over here, which would be kind of fun. So she's going to stop painting up here in her room. And then going back to Jenny again for just a moment, I noticed that in her wants, she now has the want to ask for homework help, aka learn to study. So she obviously is feeling very guilty about her grades. Even if that's not the direction that the character was supposed to go in, that's what she's up to right now. Oh no. The cat scratching things up. You know what? She may not have a scratching post. Yes, I don't recall seeing one anywhere. So let me buy her one really quick. Alright, I got just a very plain scratching post to put in the corner back there. Hopefully we can train Popo to use it. Okay, stop chatting. Lord. Okay, I thought I told you to take a bath. We're gonna say don't do that. And then we're gonna give love because I want them to be friends. Eloise is in the kitchen, she's making dinner. She seems to be very good at balancing her work life and her home life because she still comes home from work every day and manages to make a dinner for the family, make sure they're taken care of, even if she is exhausted. But she's doing great. I have to wonder, speaking of Eloise, how she feels about the fact that her sister-in-law is missing. Her sister-in-law, not only, but her ex-best friend. I mean, sure, their history is kind of long in the past, but it's still something to think about. No one actually is super hungry, really, but I'm still gonna have them go eat. Jessica, I didn't really see the conversation. Either she didn't answer the phone, or he didn't ask her on another date and he was just calling to chat. Either way, we are going to call him up. We're gonna invite him over. I should have done this earlier because it is getting pretty late, but I would like to see if he can try to impress Charlie and Eloise because the family bio was kind of insinuating that they would not be very impressed by Valerian, and maybe we should, I don't know, try our hand at that. Is he gonna say, can my friend come over? Sure. I'm interested to see who he would bring. And I'm gonna keep an eye outside because I sometimes invite people over and then I forget about them. Okay, Jessica's stomping on the roaches. No. Okay, Shella Spitzig is just standing there. I have a feeling that this is the friend that Valerian brought. It is so dark I can't even see her, but you can see that this is actually a restaurant server. Is this one of the servers they met last night on their date? Okay, they're gonna share a big smooch. I don't really want to invite this person in, but now they're in my house, so okay. Yeah, do we know Valerian? No, so it doesn't appear. Wait. No, it doesn't appear that Charlie or Eloise have ever met Valerian, so we're gonna have to get them to speak. I'm going to just let the game decide, like, are they going to get along or not? Like, if they have a conversation and it does not go well, that's kind of going to be a very clear indicator that they don't necessarily approve of the relationship. I mean, I imagine that, especially for Eloise, she probably has a very traditional input of how, like, Jessica's boyfriend should look. And a kid like this, dressed up in, like, very casual hoodie and dyed white hair maybe does not fit Eloise's ideals, but regardless, we're going to introduce to Charlie first. I imagine Jessica knows that Charlie wouldn't be as, I don't know, strict, so to speak. Oh no, where was he go? Oh, he was gonna go woohoo. Oh no. No, we're not doing that. Oh dear. Great, now what? We're all gonna go upstairs. Alright, whatever works. Okay, so very interestingly, I decided to go and just take a quick look. As far as I'm aware, they didn't really interact besides a handshake, and Charlie already has a -14 over -1 relationship with Valerian. I don't know if it was coded that way, like maybe they somehow made the relationship disappear so that when you first meet him, you actually disapprove of him. I don't know if that's even possible, but that's so funny. So yeah, needless to say, I don't think Charlie thinks that Valerian made a good first impression. And he doesn't really have any desire to speak to him anymore, so he's gonna run off to the restroom because he needs to do that anyway. She's like, but Daddy, I love him. Meanwhile, they just barely know each other. They have a crush on each other. He's gonna tell her a joke. He's not taking this very seriously. Oh my god. Eloise. Now we're going to introduce to Eloise. Hopefully she behaves herself. Oh no, she's going to bed. No! That's not what I wanted to happen. Okay, now this is even worse, because imagine you're trying to go to sleep, and your teenage daughter brings her rebel-looking boyfriend into your bedroom while you're in your pajamas and says, Mom, I want you to meet my boyfriend. Oh dear. Okay, well now it's not good. Are you kidding me? Woke her up for no reason? Oh wow, she obviously doesn't like him. I wonder if it's gonna be the same thing. She meets him for the first time and automatically dislikes him. Okay, can you guys freaking stop? Oh my god. No one wants to play rock, paper, scissors this much. Oh, you're killing me with this. Okay, here we go. They're chatting. I mean, it looks like it's going well. Okay. Well, that's better than Charlie. So honestly, their first reactions kind of surprised me. I really thought that Charlie was going to be the one that was more chill, but he seems to strongly dislike Valerian. Meanwhile, Eloise, it's not like she has any strong feelings in one way or the other. She just met him. But hey, at least it's a positive number. It's better than negative. But yeah, so I think that's enough. We're going to let her go to bed. We're going to get him the hell out of, you know, Jenny's parents' bedroom. Jessica's parents' bedroom. Are they about to woohoo? Okay, we really need to get out of here. Run for your lives. Oh my god. Okay, just kidding. They're not woohooing. She's going back to bed. We're good. Charlie thought he was, but he is not. Okay, what's all going on here? Are you still playing with the freaking roaches? Look how many there are now. Oh, this is horrifying. I'm gonna take a quick last look at the plants. I just noticed that we don't have any plant lights, whatever those are called. Oh, these back here. Yep, I'm going to keep forgetting about this garden back here. I promise I am. It's just too easily tucked away into the corner. I think that Jessica probably feels a bit underwhelmed about her parents' reaction to meeting Valerian. I don't know if she was expecting more of a big blow up. I don't know if she was hoping for something more, I don't know, positive, but either way, she really didn't get the reaction she was hoping for because her parents just don't seem to really care at all. I mean, Charlie is like, I don't like this kid, but it's probably a very superficial thing. Like, he doesn't like him. Why are we still sitting here naked? He doesn't like him just based off of his appearance, I guess. Maybe Valerian reminds Charlie too much of how Charlie was when he was that age, because that's really the vibe that I'm getting right now. Alright, so it's after midnight, and the teenagers that were here are leaving now. So Valerian and Robin are out of here, and I realized that we do still have a guest, Shyla Spitzig. This is just too funny. She's naked in their hot tub. She didn't say a single word to anyone. She just walked straight up in their house and got naked in their hot tub, and she's probably going to be in there all night long. Jenny never did get to ask anyone to help her with her homework, and I can't lock it in, unfortunately, because she only has one lock available, and I want to keep it on her plant sense, since that's more of an overarching story for her. But yeah, maybe if she still has this tomorrow, I can get Eloise or Charlie to help her with her homework. Maybe Charlie, since she seems to be closer with her dad. Alright, so it is now Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Jenny just got off the school bus. She's still not happy about her grades, but she did her homework before she went to school, so I don't know why her grade didn't go up. Okay, I guess we're eating some toaster pastry over there. And Jenny brought home a friend. This is Kieran Stanford. I don't know if he's a playable, he may just be a townie, but he's very interesting looking. He also has his ears pierced. I appreciate the attention to detail. A lot of the townies have makeup and cute hairstyles and piercings, things you don't normally see on townies. Then again, for all I know, Kieran could be a playable. Oh, look who's here! Valerian is here. I did invite him. So it's gonna be a couple hours still until Charlie and Eloise get home. Yeah, he's home at 3, she's home at 5. Technically speaking, Jessica is supposed to go to work today, but she's gonna, like, not go. She has the want to make out with Valerian. She was feeling a little bit rebellious since, you know, the meet and greet with her parents didn't go so well last night. And she's determined. She's like, you know what? I'm going to hook up with my boyfriend. Right, the first thing he's gonna do is come tickle her. It's such a romantic thing to be tickled, I guess. I also don't know why there's a dog here, Beasley. I think it's a wolf, actually, I'm not sure. Okay, the carpool's here, but we're not gonna go, so I'm gonna X out of the action. It just kind of seems like something Jessica would do right now because she's at that conflict with herself. She's like, you know what, do I even really want to go into the business career like my mom? Or like my mom once, I should say. Is that even something I'm into, or am I just doing it because she told me? You know, she's getting very close to her college years. She's 3 days left until she becomes an adult, which is actually like nothing. So I can definitely see a teenage girl in her position, sort of rebelling. And I was thinking about this, and this family actually really reminds me of the Pleasant family from Pleasant View. It's kind of an obvious parallel. You know, you have the two teenage girls. Granted, they're not twins, but still. Eloise reminds me a lot of Mary Sue because she's very business and ambitious driven, and she wants her children to probably be the same way. But um, I suppose Jessica would kind of be more like Angela, where she is supposed to be the golden child and so much is expected of her, but she doesn't want to hold up to the pressure, you know what I mean? She's not going to go to work. Oh, look, he hasn't even met Jenny before. I guess we could introduce them. Jessica does have a pretty good relationship with Jenny, but we haven't really seen the two of them interacting at all. Let's try to introduce him to Jenny. I don't know where she is. Oh, she's playing computer games again. Oh my god, these trees! I'm gonna deforest this entire neighborhood at this point. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, so she's gonna get off the computer so she can meet Valerian. I like to think that Jenny, since she's kind of in her own world, she's not gonna care what Jessica does. Like, she's not like her mother, and I really couldn't see Jenny like ratting her out for skipping work. Oh god, not the bursting into tears. Okay, I see she did roll the want again to ask for homework help, so she's very determined to get those grades up. But right now, my girl, we're gonna go outside. She has to get to work. The plants are not doing so hot. Oh, Castor the alien visitor is walking by, and it looks like he might have been jogging. This looks like some athletic wear. I think Beasley the wolf was trying to attack him. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure if she will tend many on all of the plants, so I just want to make sure they're all good. Okay. Okay, she's getting kind of hungry, so maybe they can, like, order a pizza or something. At this point, her father's gonna come home from work, you know, he's off at 3. But I feel like if he even questioned Jessica, which I'm not sure that he would, but if he did, it would be very easy for Jessica to lie and just say, like, oh, they called me, they said they didn't need me. It's not like her employers are going to call up her parents and ask why she's playing hooky. It's not like school. So yeah, we're gonna get a pizza delivered. Perfect. Pizza's on the way. Thank you so much, Valerie. Oh, that's funny. Valerie and Valerian, basically the same name. Okay, Jenny's good. I wonder, yeah, she just met this Kira in person. She didn't know him before. We gotta go, like, really start putting on the charm with Valerian because I don't think that they have the makeout option. Oh, they do, shockingly. They are BFFs, so that's fair. But I want to warm them up to it a bit. Let's go put those toaster pastries away. I don't know how long they've been sitting out. I did have the exterminator come by. Where is he going? Hello? It says he's coming home from work still. Is he okay? Did he just really make a route all the way through the house just to walk to the mailbox? My Sims are behaving strangely. Maybe something was blocking his path before? He just had to come do like a perimeter check, I guess. That was really strange. Anyway, the pizza's here. I'll get Jessica to come get it. We're gonna say she paid for it with her work money. Jenny's still hard at work in the garden, of course. Nothing's gonna change there anytime soon. Oh wait, I wanted you to pay those bills. Jenny's pretty hungry, but I feel like she would be the type of person to neglect her needs in favor of like what she really wants to do. Like she's very in the zone when she's gardening. Okay, Bernard is walking by again. So I was doing some thinking, and I don't know exactly how much relevance this family has to the overarching plot between, like, at least the Wallace family and how Leandra's disappeared. They don't seem to have any opinions on it. Oh, look, Jessica missed work today. That doesn't impress the higher-ups too much. Well, the good news is she's not fired yet, so she's fine. Okay, here Eloise home. Perfect. She's hungry. She can come get some pizza. Oh, look! Wow, I didn't even expect this to happen, but you know what? It kind of makes sense. So I guess Charlie does know that Jessica skipped work. He's over here lecturing her all on his own free will. It's like, what are you thinking? That's not very impressive to the higher-ups. Oh dear. Oh no! They lost their best friend status over that? Wow. Well, to be fair, the relationship is pretty low, so I guess any kind of hit was gonna maybe take them down. Wow, okay. So that's even more interesting because it's sort of like Jenny is starting to become the favorable child to Charlie. In the same way I was saying that Eloise can't seem to relate to Jenny, I think that Charlie can't really relate to Jessica. And also Jessica is just kind of doing the typical rebellious teenager stuff where she's like dating the boy that her father doesn't really like, she's skipping work, she's doing okay at school, but like she doesn't have any drive right now. And I feel like I don't know if Charlie would be upset about this because it upsets him or because he knows it will upset Eloise, because he does seem like the type of father that would say something like, oh, don't do that, it'll make your mother upset, you know. But she's gonna come in here right in front of her parents' eyes, sort of, and just get romantic with Valerian. I wonder, they don't want to go steady yet, but I wonder if that's something that we could consider. But perhaps I'll wait until we play with his household to see if, like, anything is different on his end. I don't really have all the details yet. We're just gonna go for it since the option's there. They're gonna make out. Like I said, it's like a really big want for her. That's her big, desire for today. And then meanwhile, her mother is just, like, right there kind of watching this happen. She's not intervening, but she saw it all happen. And yay, now Jessica's very happy, so that's something. But we're gonna say, so Jessica, or not Jessica, sorry, Eloise was in here just a moment ago talking to Charlie, even though he was facing the wall, but we're gonna pretend they were talking. And he was telling her, you know, sort of unbidingly, like he didn't really want to tell her, but he's also her husband. He's not going to hide things from her. He was telling Eloise that Jessica skipped work today, and then Eloise looks out the window and sees right in front of her eyes that Jessica is making out with this kid that she just met last night, or that Eloise just met, not that Jessica just met. So we're going to come in here, we're going to lecture, same way that Charlie just lectured Jessica. We're going to pretend that they don't have smiles on their faces. My friend Nemertees did show me a link, I believe, to better, like, argument facial expressions, because I made a comment on that in one of my last videos. Oh my god. How I think it's weird that they, like, smile and laugh when they're arguing, and there is a mod to fix that. I just forgot to download it. But okay, so Jessica really didn't say anything back. I don't think they normally do when they get lectured. Their relationship is really on the decline, I have to say. 78 over 80. I feel like it was higher before. It's about the same for Eloise, but yep. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where it's growing pains, you know? Eloise has to realize that Jessica is her own person. She's going to want to make her own decisions. And the more that Eloise tries to control Jessica, the more that Jessica's going to try to rebel. I mean, it really is a classic tale for a reason. Alright, Jenny, where are you? Oh, Jenny's in here brushing her teeth. They cracked me up with that. I don't know if I mentioned before, because I did say in episode 1 that I had to turn off the free will, but in this household, they very obviously have free will on. You can tell, but I just didn't need to have free will turned off for this household, because there's no one, like, fighting, so to speak, so it wasn't really causing any issues in that way. Okay, so Jessica's fun is pretty low. She wants to make a friend, and she wants to gain a skill point, or logic skill point specifically. I'm gonna have her come out here to the chess table, and, oh, I think mom and dad are gonna go woohoo. Let's see. I think that is what's happening. Yep. I wonder if they're gonna make another baby. At this point, Eloise has 21 days. In fact, they both do. They both have 21 days until they become elders, so they have more than enough time to, like, make another baby if that's what they want to do. I don't think that was really part of the plan, but I do have free will on and ACR, so if it happens, it happens. Okay, they finished up here. I think they did it anyway. I have no way of knowing if they tried for a baby or not. I don't know if I even really set up my ACR here in this neighborhood. Did I do that? The best way to know is if my risky... Okay, risky's at 15%. That's, I don't know what the default is. I think 15% is fine. Oh, the timer multiplier is way too high. So that's probably why they were trying to fight for their lives to get in here and woohoo the past couple days. Let's set it to 3. I think, if I'm understanding that correctly, timer multiplier means, like, how many days pass before they try to woohoo again. Okay. That's good. Oh, Jessica got her logic skill point. Excellent. Oh, look, now she wants to go to college. Okay, so she just met Kieran. I'm gonna let her stay out here for a while, actually. I don't see any reason not to. Oh, look, this garden needs some tending. I apologize if the camera angles have been less than stellar in this episode, but as I said before, it's been kind of hard to get at everything between the trees and the walls, etc. Okay, now Eloise got a cooking skill point. Alright, we're done. We're going to ask for homework help Charlie. Like I said, I think she would go to Charlie first anyway, because they have a closer relationship, and maybe he wouldn't be quite so hard on her, like if she was struggling. We're not going to serve the table today. Thanks. Oh, God, no. Every time. Okay. Well, the food disappeared. I'm just going to send Eloise to bed. She's so tired. Bless her heart. I feel terrible making her cook again. There's still pizza. Oh my... Just kidding. No, there's not. Oh, Valerian took the last piece. Just another reason for Charlie to hate him. Oh my god. Whatever. Just help this child do her homework. It's a wonder that they got to their teenage years without learning how to study, but... I mean, never too late, I guess. Alright, Jessica, you are officially good here. How close did she become? Oh, 40. You know what? If I keep having her talk to Kieran, she could probably become his friend. Jessica is sort of painted out to be the popular girl, so it would totally make sense for her to have a lot of friends. Even if they're like not super close, like acquaintances that really like her. So let's just chat with him for a bit. How is my cat doing? I haven't really been paying any attention to her. I also realized I was saying her name wrong earlier. I think I was saying Papu or something. It's Popo. Popo. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, Dad is super duper hungry. Maybe there's leftovers. I think it's just leftover toaster pastries, but still. That is not your bed. She was gonna go sleep in her sister's bed. I'm doing a quick once over of the plants again, and she is gonna go to sleep. This family just didn't have dinner tonight, but that's okay. Oh, look, she wants to get a kitten. Well, too bad, because I'm not getting more than one cat for this family. I think it's funny that she invited Valerian over here. She really wanted to make out with him, and then as soon as she did, Jessica just immediately stopped rolling any wants for him, and she just wants to make another friend. To be fair, she and Valerian only have one bolt of chemistry, which is pretty low. Come on, we're so close to making friends. Come on. Well, I guess I don't know what it looks like on his end. Oh, and it's starting to rain. Ugh. We're at 73, and Kieran still isn't her friend, so I'm just gonna lock in the wants to make a friend, and she is going to get out of here. I also think it's ironic that Jenny is the one that brought home Kieran, and then Jessica's the one that ended up chatting him up all night. But again, Jenny just has very different priorities from the rest of this family. I know you're tired. Oh my god, Charlie! What are you doing? That scared me. I was like, what is in her bed? It's her father. Why on God's green earth? Why would you do this? Oh dear, so it is as I suspected. For some reason, Eloise was upstairs eating her breakfast in her bedroom. Maybe that's her comfy spot, I don't know. But as you can see here, she is getting up after taking a few bites to be morning sick. Excellent. So she and Charlie were successful. Maybe they did try for baby, maybe it was an accident. I have no way of knowing. But clearly she's going to be having another baby. And I highly doubt that this is part of Eloise's life plan. I don't think that she, especially considering how old her, two kids already are, I bet she thought that she was finished having children. This is going to impede her way up the career ladder for sure, because then she's going to have to take off maternity time. She's going to have to stay home more to help raise the child. So, going to be an interesting dynamic. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see a baby during today's episode, but I very likely will circle back to this household after we complete at least one round, and then we're going to get to see what goes on there. I can't believe she got pregnant. Oh my god. So anyway, I was having her finish up her breakfast because she's off to work. She's the last person at the house today. Jimmy Marigold's walking by again. And I guess she'll go to work today because she doesn't have a bump yet. She needs to get as much money in as she possibly can. And then, and then she's gonna have to take some time off, unfortunately for her. Alright, so Jenny just got home from school and once again still has a D plus. And now I'm starting to wonder if something going on, like why can she not seem to get her grades up? Even though she's going to school every day, she's doing her homework every night. Normally you see an improvement at least after the second day of doing their homework and sending them to school. So I have had the issue before where like my custom clothing or hair is for some reason or another impeding their ability to raise their grades or sometimes bring home homework. Like I've noticed that's also been an issue. But she's bringing her homework back. She's just not getting the count for it. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably just a broken game mechanic, like something could be wrong with my CC, but I'm gonna spin it as if it's part of the story. Like, she's doing her best, and, she's not really getting any payoff for it, and so it's also sort of like this is why she's still leaning away from the whole humanity and society, like what is expected of her, that kind of thing. Like she's trying her darndest in school, like she really, at least for the time being, wanted to try to make her parents proud, but it's just not working out for her. And as someone with ADHD and learning disabilities, like I also really relate to that because it's almost as if no matter how hard you try and you still like just can't get your grades up, it starts to feel like, what's the point? Why am I even bothering? And I guess it's kind of where Jenny is right now. Super strange. But yeah, so once again, like always, her garden is in dire shape. She needs to get to work for sure. Oh, look, you can tend. We're gonna harvest her fruit. I feel like she would want to keep it. Tend many, spray many. Yeah, she's got a lot of work in front of her. Poor girl. I don't know who told her to have such a giant freaking garden. Jessica is home. Nate Martinez is here. I don't remember if we've seen him yet or not. Interesting looking guy. Another high school student, obviously. And they're talking, just hanging out. She's going to be going to work here shortly. Jessica doesn't have any reason to skip today. She feels pretty bad. I want to think that she feels a little bit guilty, especially after both of her parents reamed her for skipping work last night. I'm guessing something that her mother said to her when she was lecturing her really kind of stuck a thorn in Jessica's side. She is going to try to be the good girl again, at least for today. Maybe it's more like she's going to work because she doesn't have anything else to do. Okay, she wanted to go to work though, so that's another good thing. I have yet to have Jessica use the flower arranging station, but I just don't see any reason to. Okay, Charlie's home. Let's see if he does the weird walk around again. Okay, no, he's being normal today. Super strange that was before. Charlie actually has the want to invite someone over, and I wonder who he would bring over, because he doesn't have any friends that aren't his relatives. Let's see who he would want to invite. Let's invite Alfred. Oh, just kidding. Alfred works until 6. Alrighty then. Let's not invite Alfred. We're going to invite over Jimmy Marigold. Oh, just kidding. He's at work until 8. Okay. So the time just keeps getting later and later. You know what? Let's do it. Let's invite over Freddie. I was trying to invite over an adult so that he could have like intellectual conversations, but we're going to invite over little nephew Freddie. They're close to being friends. Oh my god, he doesn't want to come. You know what, Charlie? Take this as a learning moment. Like, when nobody wants to answer your calls, you know, are they the problem or is it you? Oh dear. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna put him to work. I'm strongly debating hiring a maid for this house because they just are having a bit of trouble with the upkeep. Maybe I would have Charlie come rake these leaves. That needs to be done. Oh dear, I think these oranges are going to be bland. Oh look, they turned orange just before she harvested them. Maybe they'll be good. I'll look in her inventory in just a minute. Who's walking by? Think a townie. Alright, let's see. Were they good? Tasty oranges. Excellent. She got 9 tasty oranges. We saved the oranges just before it was time. Oh gosh, and we do have a lot of pests over here, so she'll have the opportunity to spray a bit more. She can collect even more spiders now. I think the garden is about ready to be harvested. Everything looks like it's almost there. And Eloise just got home from work, so she obviously is not feeling well. I think that now she knows... Oh, speak of the devil. I was gonna say, I think that she is very aware now that she is pregnant. She's like, oh god. Once again, not in her plans, so it's kind of throwing things off a bit. She was probably queasy all day at work today. We're just gonna clean that up, yeah. Pretty nasty. Jenny is still having so much fun back here. And then, as I suspected, now these need work. It just never ends, huh? She is spraying a lot, but I haven't really been counting how many times she sprayed. And then I was left with the question, like, can teenagers even become plant sims? I mean, I do have some plant sim mods for a different neighborhood that I was playing with plant sims very briefly in, and I think that I have a plant sims enabled for every age mod, but I don't know if that I've ever seen it in action, so I don't know. Just something to question. If nothing else, we may have to wait until Jenny becomes an adult. Okay, Mom is not feeling well, so she's gonna run a bath. That's perfectly fine. Okay, all that there is to eat right now is chocolate cherry berry porridge. That's okay. Oh look, he finished raking the leaves. I'm gonna compost them later. So it's 6 o'clock. So one of the reasons I wanted to play through the rest of today was because I really wanted Eloise to have a conversation with Alfred. So, like I was saying before, this family unfortunately didn't really have much to do in the way of the missing sim mystery. Say that 3 times fast. And I would really like to have a way to tie them in. So, oh god, the toilet up here is disgusting too. So I thought that would be a good way to do it because if you recall from the Wallace family episode, Alfred was going around town. He was trying to investigate Leandra's disappearance and he was asking people questions. And even though Alfred and Eloise are not close at all, I think that from, a big sister perspective, like she would want to help him out. And even though she kind of doesn't really like, in fact, she is enemies with Leandra, I think that I want to believe anyway that Eloise would want Leandra to be found. I mean, she's the mother of her niece and nephew. She's her brother's wife. I think that she's family, enemy or no. And I also think that Alfred would have some questions for Eloise because they are enemies. Like, when is the last time you spoke to Leandra? When's the last time you saw her? That kind of information. I mean, if I was a police officer, that's the first thing they do, right? They look at the enemies to see if there was any connection there. So, without further ado, we're going to get Alfred over here. Okay, so once again, for some reason, I just can never remember to press record, and I've been talking to myself for like 10 minutes, but it's okay. Let me just catch you back up on what's happening. Eloise has invited over Alfred, or I should say, Alfred came over to visit. If you recall from the last episode with the Wallace family, Alfred Wallace is the husband of the missing Leandra, and he was going around town asking people questions, trying to see what they knew, who was the last person to lay eyes on Leandra, things like that, right? And he didn't really come up with anything super concrete, like evidence wise, but he did discover that for some reason there are a couple other missing Sims around the neighborhood, and there are these alien lookalikes that have the same name and same appearance as their human counterparts, except the aliens obviously are aliens. They have green skin and black eyes. So, anyway, he has come over here to his sister's house to have a conversation with her. Eloise, if I didn't already say this before, is actually enemies with Leandra. They highly dislike each other. If you remember earlier from their, history together, it's very understandable why. She basically stole Leandra's boyfriend when they were all in high school because Leandra and Charlie were together first. And the betrayal was even more painful for Leandra because Eloise and Leandra were best friends when this happened. So, yeah, double betrayal, very upsetting stuff, even though it was definitely 20 years ago or more, possibly. They clearly have not forgiven each other. So, I'm sure that Alfred, being the husband of Leandra, knows very well that his sister and wife do not get along at all, but he still feels compelled to come by and have a conversation with her and ask the same questions. When is the last time you saw Leandra? Talked to her, things of that nature. Like, did she seem strange? Now, I don't have any reason to believe that Eloise had anything to do with Leandra's disappearance. I don't think that she knows anything. She's, like I said, very focused on her family and her career. So it doesn't really seem like she'd be the type of person to, I don't know, be involved in covering up some kind of missing sim thing. But you never know, right? So he's just over here talking to her a little bit. Like I said, they are getting along pretty well. They're talking about money, and she is officially done with the conversation. She's going to bed. She's so tired, poor thing. Pregnancy, first trimester hits her really hard, apparently. But before you go to bed, my dear, you are going to say goodbye to your brother. Or he doesn't have to leave necessarily, but I would like you to, like, I don't know, console him. It makes perfect sense to me that Alfred is just distraught in this moment. Like, he is finding it very difficult to manage his family life without his wife. And, it just makes sense that he would go to his sister for comfort, even though they aren't close. I don't want to believe that Eloise is a monster. I don't want to think that she is happy that Leandra has disappeared, because that's just really petty if so. But I'd be very interested to hear your guys' like interpretations of this situation. But for now, Eloise and Alfred are done talking and she's gonna go to bed. Okay, I did just get pulled over to Eloise. She was asleep for like maybe 5 minutes, and she is getting her first baby bump. Yep. I'm gonna be very interested to see whether or not this is a single baby or twins, because I think twins would really wreck us right now. It's just not something that they have the room or the time for. But yeah, like I said, this is going to have to be a surprise for the next episode with this family, whenever that may be. I feel like I'm going to go in the recommended play order for the neighborhood for at least the first round. Depending on where the story is by the end of the first round, we may just pick and choose which households we want to go to first. Because, for example, even though I really liked this family, I just don't think that they had much to do in the way of the mystery. Again, I could be very wrong. We still have a lot of other households to visit, and it's very possible that other things could come to light in someone else's household, if you know what I mean. But for the time being, they're just kind of dealing with their own family issues right now. So yeah, back to sleep you go, my dear. I mean, she did look happy about the pregnancy at least, so there's that. Jenny just came in to talk to Alfred, and the first thing they talked about was her lousy birthday party she had a while ago. And Alfred's telling her, like, oh, I remember when you were just kids, and you're both so grown up now. Bless her heart. I actually noticed that Jenny was feeling very lonely. Her social's pretty low. She just hasn't really had anyone to talk to, which is sad. Again, relationships with other humans, not really been her priority, but she still needs it. Like, everyone needs to have someone to talk to. And even though she has a very good relationship now with her sister and father, I'm sure that in a household like this, with the family dynamic the way that it is, she may find it difficult to talk to them. Like, see, even with her Uncle Alfred, she's getting quite bored. Doesn't really have anything to offer her, I guess. Yeah, Charlie's off to bed. Notice how Charlie and Alfred didn't interact with each other at all. I'm guessing that Alfred didn't really have anything to say to Charlie. They don't really know each other all that well. I'm sure Alfred is well aware because he was probably a young teenager when this was all happening, but I'm sure he's well aware that there is some history between Leandra and Charlie, and maybe Alfred is a little put off by that, like he finds it awkward to talk to him. It's very possible. Alright, well, I was getting ready to wind up the episode and say goodbye, and of course Charlie sets fire to the kitchen. So, I mean, it's a good thing we have a smoke alarm, I suppose. Oh no, that was a big fear for Jessica. Wow. Oh my golly. Okay, Jenny doesn't care. She's on her way down to the garden. Of course. Poor guy, he just wanted some toaster pastries, and now he has to go to work, and he stinks, and he didn't even get to eat them. Oh my good god. What a hot disaster, literally. Get the toaster pastries. Thank you, Lady Jones. Absolutely bonkers. I can't even have just one moment of peace. Okay, no, you're not gonna eat those. I feel like you would totally throw up from eating that. She really needs to potty. You're gonna have to get out, Jessica. Now I have to fix them all up, make sure they're okay. Alright, so the good news is, regarding Jenny, I do have the Plant Sim overhaul mods by Midge the Tree that does allow for children and teenagers to also be plant sims. So every time she sprays the pesticides, she does get a chance to become a plant sim. If Google is anything to believe, they do have to spray pesticide 15 times in one play session before they have a 10% chance of becoming a plant sim. So even after she sprays 15 times, there's still a possibility that she won't turn, you know what I mean? But, you know, if she doesn't become a plant sim until she's an adult, that's totally fine. Not gonna really change anything here. I'm considering, I believe that there's like an emancipation mod or something like that that I could download that would keep Jenny from like having to go to school. Her grades aren't getting any better, so I think that it would be perfectly reasonable to think that she just dropped out. But I'll look into that later. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. Just as a quick recap, of course, we didn't really discuss how Charlie is going to end up feeling about Eloise's pregnancy. I'm sure that he doesn't really mind. I mean, he's not the one that has to carry the baby and take maternity time off to take care of it and stuff. Of course, maybe he's going to have to step it up a bit at work if he's going to have to, you know, pick up the slack from Eloise missing work. But, you know, they are a very loving couple. They seem to really care for each other. And even though the relationship, like the situation going on with their daughters is kind of weird, um, I believe that they are very loving parents. I think that they genuinely just want what's best for Jessica and Jenny, but especially on Eloise's side, she just doesn't really know how to show that without coming across as like more just of the control freak type. I'm sure Charlie, as her longtime partner, is well aware of Eloise's type A personality, and I believe that he just kind of goes with it to make her happy. As for Jessica, she did heat things up quite a bit with her relationship with Valerian, and I think that when we go to play his household, we'll have to wait to see if they end up falling in love even. Of course, it could also just like not be a big love match. I mean, again, one bolt of chemistry is not that strong. It's pretty weak. But she is very attracted to him in the moment. This very well could just be a high school relationship. She's like, oh, she sees kind of like the rebellious kind of cool looking kid. He doesn't seem like he cares about too much. I mean, he is a pleasure sim, I believe, so that kind of draws her in for now. But in the grand scheme of things, we're going to have to return and see how Jessica feels. Again, as a fortune sim, you can see here she has all these wants to do big things. She wants to earn a lot of money. She wants to go to college, things of that nature. And I don't know that Valerian is really going to be on the same wavelength as her. But it's been very interesting to get to know Jessica, of course. And then Jenny unfortunately did not achieve her dream of becoming a plant sim today, but it will happen. If not today, then definitely next time, because I have a feeling she's getting closer to being able to become a plant sim between spraying pesticides all the time, and especially if I get her emancipated and she doesn't have to go to school, then it'd be even better because she can just focus her time 100% on the garden. And not to mention, this has been a very fun little diversion from my usual gameplay. Once again, I like never play with plant sims, never even try to get someone to become a plant sim, so I see it as sort of like a personal challenge to accomplish this for her. Okay, once again, guys, that is going to end today's episode. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I definitely had a good time visiting this family, and their house is just so cute. I was saying before that I think this was a really fun, interesting household. The dynamic is very compelling. Like, it makes me want to stay here and like see what's going to happen. Especially, I want to know how the girls are going to react to their mother having another child, especially because that age gap between them and their younger sibling is going to be so big. And what with Jessica wanting to, figure things out for herself, and then Jenny wants to become a plant sim. I wonder if the kids are even really going to stay in this household much longer. But I don't want to jump the gun, of course. We still have to figure out what's going on here in Silent Peaks. We still have to find their Aunt Leandra. We need to get that all sorted before we can start thinking about big picture things, of course. So yeah, that's all gonna have to wait for next time. Alright guys, I'm gonna see you next time for Silent Peaks episode 3. Until then, take care. Have a great rest of your day, your night, your week, and I'll see you in the next one real soon. Bye!